Hello and welcome to Streams of Wings and welcome here to Telluride. This little airport needs no introduction. It's a fantastic place to start our flight today. We're going to be 9,070 feet high and we're going to be taking a flight in, of course, the brand new Miltech stroke Blackbird A-1 Skyraider, the SPAD. Isn't it a beast? I personally think this aircraft looks fantastic. If it played a sport, it would be a prop forward in a rugby team. Absolutely incredible aeroplane. Really excited to be flying it up in the mountains. We're going to fly it from Telluride over to Aspen, just to put it through its paces through the mountains and see what we can do, and also take it a little bit higher as well, so we can see what the high altitude performance is like. But it's a wonderful aeroplane. There's 3 different versions in this pack, including this one here, which is the A1H. Then you've got the AD3W. There's a Royal Navy paint for that, which I will be flying in a future video, by the way. Fly Navy. And then also the AD4W, and you've got weapons, you've got all sorts, but we're just going to fly it. So enough of my waffling. Put on your flying suits, sign the insurance waiver, and let's get going. Okay, well, here we are outside. As this is 2024, we can do something of a walk around here. I don't think there's a huge amount to do. I had a quick look yesterday when I was having a quick familiarization. Spit it out, lad. But there's a few things that we can do. For example, we can remove our chocks. So I shall do that. Yep, that's gone. And let's pop back up here. We can come around here. I mean, the nice thing about doing this is that you really do get an appreciation of the bulk of it. It is such an impressive aircraft. It's absolutely huge. And we can check our ailerons. Flap doesn't really do anything. Don't think there's much we can do around here. Come around the back, check the elevator. Yeah. Rudder's not really doing anything, so that's okay. Come back round to the front. Aileron is fine. Again, rudder, not a rudder. Flap, not doing anything. There's our lovely landing light. So we've got no stores on. I'll show you once we get inside, and I'm sure you've seen it in other videos, but you can carry weapons, but we won't be carrying weapons on this flight. And quick check of the prop. Oh, and I didn't mean to do that, so let's just come back outside. Interesting. I clicked on the prop thinking that maybe I wondered if I could turn it, but it put us straight back into the cockpit. That's the first time I tried to do that. Anyway, this is looking all good, and just look how blooming enormous that is. Huge aeroplane. Really is. And what a fantastic area to fly in. Again, this walk around mode that we have in 2024 certainly gives some immersion in that you're actually walking around your aircraft before you climb into it. It's one of the things I love about the A2A walk arounds. Really does put you there. And the other cool thing that this has got, which if you had the Zero, you can actually walk up the cockpit to the aircraft. Or up the wing rather. So let's just open the cockpit, and now finally we can get in. Okay, here we are inside the cockpit, and it's rather beautiful, isn't it? I really do love the weathering. It certainly does feel like a lived-in cockpit, like it's seen some life. It's flown some miles and all that kind of stuff, but and it feels very tactile as well. This would be great in VR. Yeah, it just it feels the business. Just have a quick check of my physical controls just to make sure that there's nothing funny going on there, but that all seems quite good. Okay, so let's get this started. I will follow the checklist because that's the correct and proper thing to do after all. And I'll run through it as quickly as we can so that you can sort of see and hear the sounds, but also get into the air, because the Echo 19 sounds for this are absolutely beautiful. Yeah, I kind of want you to hear those as well. Okay, so pre-start, hydraulic bypass is in. Fuel selector we will put onto main. We'll have fuel boost on. There we go. Tail wheel is going to go into the locked position. Aileron boost release wired. That's there. External stores handles are in. We don't need to worry about that. We haven't got any external stores, but we will check it. The dive brake is retracted. Oil cooler set to auto. So that's... Don't want to... There we go. That's all sorted out. I did get a bit confused with this originally. I thought maybe it's manual close, manual open, and then maybe there should be an up position to auto or a middle position, but it seems to be off or on, so I just put it to there, and that should do the trick. Cowl flaps we will set to open, and yep. Cowl flap set to open. Flappage is in the up position. Well, we can see here that it's set to up. Over here it's not quite there yet, and it's dangling down here, but we haven't got any hydraulics at the moment, but that's in the position that we want it to be. Carb air is in the direct position. Blower is set to low. Throttle we will just crack a little bit. There we go. Prop needs to be full increase, fully forward. Where do we get to? Mixture idle cutoff. Yep, it's in the right position for there. Canopy is open. Gear handle is down. That would be embarrassing if it wasn't. Mags are both off. Water injection switch is off. Armor panel, all switches are off. And altimeter is set. Not quite. I'm going to kind of we'll sort of set it to the QFE, I think, which is round about there. Okay. Oh yeah, we need oxygen. Let's turn the oxygen on. We will be needing that because we're going to be going quite high, so we'll turn all those on. Mags off, we've done that. Altimeter is set. Circuit breakers are all in. I don't think these are modelled because there's no click spots, but I'm just going to double check just in case. That's a good. Right, battery switch set to on. So move that and battery to on. Here we go. A few things whirring around. It comes to life. It's really, the sounds are great. I hope it comes across on the video. Wearing headphones and hearing those sounds, it's absolutely incredible. Right, battery. What do I get to? Pitot heat is off. AC generator is on. Now, I think that's that one, and that looks like it's in the on position. Tell you what, we were, no, yeah, no. Will it? I don't know. I'm going to check something. I tend not to use the checklists that come with the with these in the tablet because I just hate having this up on the screen. I've actually got the checklist on another screen. But let's have a look. What was I looking at? It was generator, wasn't it? Cowl flaps. We haven't got to that yet, have we? Oh yeah, we have done that. Blower, throttle, prop, mixture, oxygen, gear handle, mags, armor panel we've done. Battery switch is set to on, and turn on AC generator. Yeah, okay. I think that's on because that's... Yeah, I think that is on. I'm going to take it that is on. Let's get rid of that and let's get rid of you. AC power switch is off here, and wing fold, matching wings, and we have got the lever in the correct position there. And interior lights, we don't need to worry about that because it is day. Right, starting engine, manifold pressure check. So we can see our manifold pressure here is a little bit low because we are so high up. But that's fine. We're going to have, we're probably going to have a play with mixture I should think, just to lean us down a bit because we're so high. I know some people get a bit upset by that because they think you should have mixture fully rich when you are doing takeoff and that sort of thing, just to keep the engine cooler. But I think where we are at this altitude, we might need it, but we'll see when we get everything fired up anyway. Right, where do we get to? Manifold pressure check, exterior lights bright and steady, so that's these down here. We'll have those all on, and external power, just checking that we've still got the throttle correct. External power will set to external. There we go, everything firing up. And next we're going to, so the starting procedure is basically we are going to engage the starter, count 16 blades, mags go onto both, and primer we push, and then we advance the mixture to rich once everything starting up. So that's what we're going to do. Quick check of our fuel pressure. Our fuel pressure is good, so that's rather nice. Gives you a nice sense of positivity that things are going to actually start working. So let's see if this works. So a quick shout of clear prop, just to make sure no nutter has got their bonts in the way of the blades. That would be a bit embarrassing. And now we can start it. Okay, fingers crossed. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Let's get the click spot. Prime. Lovely. Quick check down here. Oil pressure's good. Temperatures are rising. Okay, battery to bat gen, and AC power to internal. Just check our GPU's gone away there, and we'll quickly check now that we've got sufficient fuel pumping from the engine itself. So we just turn off the fuel booster for a moment. Engine keeps running, and we'll put it back on again. That's all good. Okay, so everything is tickety-boo and working nicely. Okay, well, incredibly, the weather, this is live weather, but it's saying no wind, which does amaze me. I'm just having a quick look across at the actual live weather reported for Telluride on a little nav map, and it says no wind. So this is pretty amazing. So I think we'll take runway 27. It seems like the right thing to do. And yeah, I think see what these 2,700 horses do for us. We've got this beautiful Wright-R 3350 engine at the front, 18 cylinder, beast of an engine. I do love a radial, and yeah, I think this is going to be fun. Okay, so I'm just moving a few things around on my screen because we don't necessarily need that right now. I'm going to pop that up there. Taxi checklist. Mixture is rich. Yes, it is. Master radio on. We're not going to be talking to ATC today, but we'll have the radio on. IFF standby. Don't need to worry about that because no one's going to be shooting us down today. But nice that they've modelled that there. Flaps. Check full down. Then set takeoff. So we will motor the flappage. Flaps are moving. and then there we go. I'm going to put we'll put a quarter in for takeoff. I think I wasn't really intending to use flat, but there we go. We've got that there. Wings spread if needed. They are. Flight controls wash out. Let's have a quick look. Checking at the back. Yep, that's all good. And exterior lights bright and flash. Okay. I'm looking for a flash button, but I'm not seeing one. Not seeing a flash button. Probably missing something, but anyway, let's get going. Right, we're going to do a ground run up. Where am I going to do that? I'm going to do that. I'm just looking at my map now just to give me a good idea of where we've got some room. So there is no wind, so we can actually do it wherever the hell we want. By God, we're in a warbird, so we will. Okay, let's get going. Check the brakes. Brakes good. Stick back while we're doing all this. Oh ho ho! Hold on, Sonny Jim. You've still got your tail wheel locked, haven't you? There we go. By the way, I will make mistakes in this, but hopefully what I do is I realise I've made a mistake and I point it out. So if you spot something, don't be too quick to jump into the comments and demonstrate your superior knowledge, because hopefully I'll have noticed it at some point in the video and I'll say, "Blimey neck, I forgot X," or whatever. So let's keep running up here. And what I'll do is I'll pull over. We've got this nice little area up ahead. I'll pull into that, and then we can do a run-up check. Just doing some S-turns. Got a big nose here. There it is. There's our little. I was going to say passing place. Presumably that's what it is, but if I run into here and then we're not blocking anybody, I haven't got multiplayer on or anything like that. By the way, radar does work, but it only detects AI aircraft, which I haven't got on, but it will work, and when we get in the air I can talk a bit more about that. Okay, so we are now going to do our ground run up. Throttle to idle stop. Mags are... Whoa, 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 whoa. Come back. Magnetos are on both. Brakes are on. Let's just... I'm not going to cut the throttle all the way because that almost died then. Right, throttle to 1600 RPM now. There we go. 1600 RPM, propeller full, decrease, will increase, blower set to high. See the manifold pressure jump there? Wow. There we go. That definitely makes a nice difference. Boost pump is on. Throttle 1600 and 1800, so let's go now for 1800. And then we can do, oh, we don't need to switch to external tanks because we haven't got them. That's fine. Boost pump goes off. Fuel selector is on main. Momentary prime. Mixture slowly towards idle cutoff. And then back to range. Okay, that's all good. And let's calm everything down. Quickly there, you would have noticed the difference that when I started leaning the engine, how much power we suddenly had, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. In terms of why we need to lean a little bit. Okay, so I'm just looking across at pre-takeoff now. Fuel is main tank. Check quantity and pressure. Fuel pressure is good. Quantity is absolutely fine. Mixture is rich. Propeller is increased. Blower is low. Carb air is direct. Cowl flaps are open, and they are open. Wing lock is locked. Canopy closed for field, so we can close this now. Check controls again. That's all good. And our AC power is set to internal, and I'm just going to close that cover there as well. So we are good to go. Something I do need to do is just there we go. We just need to set 6 degrees nose right on the rudder trim. There we go. Good. Excellent. And now we can take off. So let's proceed forward. And I'm just going to lean us a little bit. I'm just leaning it, and you can see the difference we've got in the power there. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. One thing I do find about this is it's got that funny thing that some MSFS aircraft have, where it's almost got that, but really, really sensitive steering. You know, you slight input on the pedal and wallop, it's turning around. Something I will say about Blackbird, as they are now, and Miltech, is that they're really good at doing updates, and I know that they're still tweaking things. And I've never flown, believe it or not, I've never flown a Skyraider, so I don't know how sensitive the ground steering is, but that's, there we go. Pretty damn sensitive. Okay, take off. Blah, 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 blah. So we're looking for 90 to 95 knots is rotate, and we're just going to go full beans. Throttle, it says full power. Okay, let's go. Just going to apply some power first. I've got the stick back. Just keep the tail down and start rolling. Ease the stick forward. Full beans. Come on. Bit squirrely there. Interestingly, having to hold on a lot of left rudder now. It's wobbling around like a maniac. And let's come off the ground. Gear up. Setting the trim. Wonderful. Incredible amount of power in this aircraft. Incredible amount of power. Okay, let's do a few things now. So we need to close the cowl flaps. Come back on the power a bit. Coming back on the RPM. Say a farewell to Telluride. Just checking, yep, flaps are up now. What a beast. Something you are very much aware of is just how powerful this aircraft is actually. It's got that lovely kind of warbird feel to it, but you're aware that you know, it's got some poke. And this really was, I guess you could say, the kind of pinnacle of the piston-driven warbird, and it was the forerunner, of course, of the A-10. But it's lovely. It really is lovely. Interesting on the takeoff there. Excuse me. There's Telluride down there. Definitely a little bit squirrely, so you've got to keep on top of the rudder pedals. I had the right rudder trim on as per the checklist, but it was actually almost wanting to pull too much to the right, which was interesting. Yesterday, when I had a quick mess around, I didn't actually put any trim in, and in a funny kind of way it was probably a smoother takeoff for it. So let's just clear the mountain here. Just adjusting the power, keeping an eye on the temperatures as well. Oh, that was interesting. We got a little bit of turbulence then, and again. Hop over the top. There's our valley. Another bit of turbulence. Whoa! There we go. Some lovely details up here. It is really nice flying in the mountains, there's no doubt about it. And I've actually incredibly not flown from Telluride I think since P3D days, so this is quite interesting. By the way, we've got a Discord. Come along and say hello. Link to it down below in the notes. A really good community. Discord community is only as good as the people who are in it. It's got nothing to do with me. It's to do with the type of people that we have there. There's a really good community of people who are into warbirds and helicopters and general aviation. So come along and say hello. Loving the scenery. This is just great. I did mention there was a Royal Navy version, and we will be flying that in the future. I have an idea. Those of you that know the channel know that I love to fly out of RAF Lossiemouth. I fly HEMS missions from there in the helicopter in the H145, and of course, Lossiemouth used to be a naval air station. So why on earth not at some point do a nice Skyraider airborne early warning flight from there with that rather bulbous AEW version that Miltech and Blackbird have kindly included. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a bit carried away by the scenery. It's blooming gorgeous, isn't it? It's really nice. Loving it. Let's have a quick check of temperatures so that I don't forget the cylinder head needs to be equal or less than 250. So that's all good, and everything else is fine. Happy with that. Everything's okay down here. Marvellous. Marvellous, marvellous, marvellous. Okay, so let's go into a climb because I'm just interested to have a look at the how she behaves. Now, there we go. We can see our manifold pressure is dropping, but I have got the throttle fully open, so now we go to high blower. Wrong one. Let's do that again. Trying to grab. Get out of the way, throttle lever. There we go. Boom, extra power. There we go. Come back a little bit, and I'm just going to ease this off to 30. There we go, and we'll leave the RPM around about 2020, and that's all good. Now, radar, I'll switch it on so you can see, but basically you just turn the brill until it lights up, and there you can see. You're not going to see anything because I haven't got AI, but if I had AI flying you'd see them pinging in on there, so that's pretty cool. Autopilot is fairly rudimentary, so if I switch that on, there we go. Did that go on? Yeah. And then if I let go, it's flying it. If I turn that away, nose goes down. And if I go that way, the nose goes up, which feels opposite to what the arrows say. But there you go. There we go. Just do that. And then here you've got the bank, so we can put in a. It'll just hold the. Got to keep on top of that. There we go, and that's coming back up. And there's the bank. Okay, so let's take out the autopilot. You get the idea now. Fairly simple, but if you're doing a long flight, it'll just, providing you've got everything trimmed out, it just gives you a little bit of ease on the controls. Okay, I don't know if it's going to let me do this. Let's quickly talk about weapons. But here you go. You are flying. Loadout management cannot be used. But you've seen it before, I'm sure you've seen some other videos, but if we wanted to, we could just put everything in here, and then yes, we can even add the toilet bomb as well. And the toilet bomb, of course, was added, I'm trying to remember the exact number, but it was after dropping so many million tons of ordnance during Vietnam. It was kind of like a cheeky little thing that a squadron did, where they literally added a toilet with fins and everything to the wing, and off they went. It's one way of celebrating it. Okay, let's get rid of you, and let's get us back on course. So, quick look at the map, and quick look down there, and we can lose some height now. We've done our high alt test. I'm going to come back on the power, and I'm going to, there we go. Checking my course. Make sure I'm not over speeding. Checking the temperatures as well. Make sure they're within limits. You can overdo it with the temperature. It wouldn't be a warbird if you had to worry about temperatures, eh? So we'll get down close to the deck. What's this? Looks like it's Montrose we're heading for. Quick hello to them. Loving the detail on the ground. And then we can do a low level blat back over to the hills. Look at the way the mirrors are shaking. I didn't notice that yesterday when I had a quick circuit and bumps. Lovely little detail. It's little things like that that make it feel alive, I think. It's all about immersion. And warbirds, especially a warbird like this, is a big, noisy, grunty thing with lots of vibration going on, and the way the mirrors are shaking just kind of adds to that. Okay, let's have the power back on now that we're on the deck, or lower anyway. Really impressed with the detail out here. Sometimes you fly in sort of more remote areas, and if the Bing data or whatever isn't particularly good, it can be a little bit dull, but this is actually quite nice. Actually quite detailed. Sail over to the road. A low level turbulence there again. Some aircraft do seem to be affected by that, some more than others. is a lovely looking aeroplane, isn't it? Some aircraft just look right. I mean, it's kind of what I was saying about the Zero before, and I know it's controversial because a lot of people absolutely adore the Zero, but it's just not an aircraft that has any interest to me. But there's something about the Skyraider. It just looks at the business. It's got that quite a thick fuselage. It's almost like saying, "Come on, sunshine, try it if you think you're hard enough." It's an impressive looking aeroplane, and I love how it has that. You know, we were saying the A-10 was the aircraft that this eventually kind of became, if you like, or was replaced by in terms of the role. And both are the same, both very kind of hard-hitting, no-nonsense aircraft with a huge amount of power. You know, this aircraft could carry more ordnance than the weight of the aircraft itself, and I'm sure I read somewhere that it could carry more ordnance than a B-17 in terms of weight. I'm sure I read that somewhere. Let's duck down here. This is really nice scenery to fly in. Quite detailed mesh as well, so we've got all these nice little valleys and ravines that just make the scenery more interesting. God, I love the sim sometimes. I know it can be infuriating in some ways. People seem to have mixed experiences with it, but I love it. Some really nice details, that river down there. Temperature's good, nothing to worry about there. Happy with that. Just keeping an eye over here at our oil temperature. Nothing to worry about at the moment, but it's obviously getting a little bit high. So we want to keep an eye on that. Just checking our, yeah, looks so good. Isn't it beautiful? One of the things I do like about flying in the States, I don't do it often enough, is that there is such a mixture of scenery. Quite amazing. You can go to different areas. You can have flat open desert. You can have mountainous areas like this. This would be a great place for a group flight. I must make a mental note. I do need to organise, anyone watching this who's on the Discord, I do need to organise a warbird group flight, there's no doubt about it. cocky in an aeroplane that we're not 100% familiar with. So used to flying down places like this in a helicopter. It's interesting doing it in a thundering warbird. Okay, we have a dam. Nice little detail, that little hut there. That was rather splendid. Temperatures, but it's holding nicely at the moment. Certainly helps because we're not doing anything silly with the engine really. We've just got a kind of a low cruise setting. Could probably up that a little bit maybe to about maybe 36. On the manifold pressure. It is so good to have a nice new warbird that flies like this does. I'm glad I bought it. Sometimes you buy aircraft. I'm not one. I don't. Yes, I've got a YouTube channel, but I don't approach developers asking for freebies to do reviews. I'm not really a kind of a traditional review channel. I'm more of a, I don't know what you call it, come along with me for a flight kind of channel. But I'm fortunate that there are some developers who kind of get what I do, so they do get in touch. But this one I bought because I wanted it, and I hoped it would be good, and it is. Simple as that. It's good fun, and they're quite honest. They don't, in their literature, they say that this is almost like an artistic rendition of a Skyraider rather than a study level exact simulation of it. Apart from the steering on the ground, it feels like what I think a Skyraider would be like. That's the best way of describing it. It's got that nice powerful grunt. You feel the inertia, you feel the weight of it. You know, nice aircraft. Now that's interesting. We've got a little bit of yeah, I thought so. I was sensing that we had some aileron trim in, but I haven't done anything. I wonder if I've got, just checking my hat switch now to see if I've got something bound to. No, let's just concentrate on flying. That's all good. Okay, interesting. Let's get rid of that. There we go. I've no idea how I knocked that aileron trim in. Oh, I wonder if it was when I was messing about with the autopilot. Maybe that does something to aileron trim and somehow it stayed in there perhaps. Who knows? Nice detail down there. You see, the sim is amazing at times. You just see a little something on the ground. This is one of the great things about flying helicopters. You see a little something on the ground and you think, oh, I'll go and have a look at that. Check of everything. Temperatures are absolutely fine. Our oil temperatures dropped a little bit. Fuel is good. Not too far to go. Nice wing view. Funny, I made a video some time ago about why fly warbirds in a simulator where you can't actually do damage, and it's interesting how some people still don't get it, which is absolutely fine. Yeah, I fly them because it's almost like I'm flying a restoration warbird rather than flying in combat. So this is a modern time flying a warbird that's, you know, going around air displays and that sort of thing, rather than trying to pretend to do combat. So we fly them for the joy of flying them, and flying them correctly and learning how they fly and all the ropes that need to be learnt, rather than flying it to go and attack something, which you can do if you fly DCS. That's what those kind of sims are there for. I've never quite understood how some people seem to be almost get quite worked up over the fact that you're flying a warbird in a non-shooty sim, and they're all kind of like, what's the point, man? What's the point? Well, the point is learning to fly whatever the warbird is correctly and enjoying it. And this is great fun, I have to say. It's got a really nice amount of power. I mean, you can see my power settings are just relatively low in a nice little cruise. We're just doing over 200 knots indicated, and it's lovely. And if we want to, we've got the ability of using some avionics to do a bit of modern flying. Got an ILS down there. That'll be something that you will probably see on the future in the channel. Actually, I'm going to actually do a flight with ATC and a flight plan and nav and all that kind of thing, as if we're transiting to another air show or something like that. Just putting the power on a bit as we come up here. And then down we go, drop that down again, and then we go into this valley. So we're not far from Aspen now. A lot of turbulence here. You can see we're getting biffed around quite a bit. Steady on there. Another lake ahead. Just going to clip over there. Follow the shore. Oh man, this scenery is just so good. It would be incredible to be here in real life. Those mountains in the distance with the snow on them. No wonder people come to Aspen to ski. Gorgeous part of the world up here. Okay, let's come around here a bit and then we can track this road. You can actually see just there in that external shot how the aircraft is getting kicked around. And interestingly, when we took off from Telluride, it was showing 0 wind. Where we are now, we are flying with a 19 to 27 gusting crosswind. So that's why we're getting blown around a bit like that. There, just checking the trim hasn't crept again. Quick check of the temperatures. Temperatures all good. Should really have had the pitot heat on. We haven't seen any visible moisture yet, or rather flown through it, but still a good idea to have that on, really. Best practice and all that. Look at the detail down there with the meandering rivers. Quite nice. Right, we need to pop over here. Radio altitude or altimeter kicking in there nicely. Let's give it some more beans while we do this. Now interestingly, I've just put full throttle on and you can see that most we're getting is 40. So I am going to go to our old friend, not the throttle. Okay, I'm going to map that to something because that's a difficult one to grab. No, I don't want to be... Okay, let's just focus on flying for the moment. Yeah, I definitely need to... There we go. I definitely need to map that because it's quite tricky to get the low blower, high blower scenario sorted out when you've got other things going on. So we just come over the top here. Heading for another valley. Wind is 27 knots still. Surprised we're not seeing more snow up here. And there before us, over there, is Aspen. I guess that's a bit of snow, isn't it? Yeah, that's a bit of snow. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's rock, loose rock, or snow. I think that might be meant to be kind of patchy snow. So let's have a look. What is the wind? Wind has now dropped now that we've come down into the valley. Just realised I've left the boost pump on. Silly boy. Boost pump should have been off for cruise. Okay, so we are getting close now, so let's get a few things set up. So we will put that back to low. So I think we're okay. I'm going to put the mixture to fully rich just to see what that would do. For landing it should be okay. Right, quick check there, blah 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 blah. It doesn't say anything about cowl flaps, so I'm going to leave cowl flaps as they are, and then we'll open them on the ground, I guess. So, quick check of the wind, 7 knots coming from that direction. So actually, I'm going to probably favours 3-3. So let's come in over here. Just want to get a lay of the land. Okay, see where that is. Say hello to the tower. It'd be rude not to. All those skiers about to embark on their skiing holiday, and some Herbert comes in a warbird and says hello, and they go blooming show off. Okay, let's come back on the power. RPM fully forward. Let's get it down. Quick check, tail wheel is... I didn't lock the tail wheel when we took off, that's why it was all jittery. I'm an idiot. There you go. If you've left a comment saying, oh, I can't believe you took off with the tail wheel unlocked, there you go, I did notice it in the end. Right, let's concentrate on landing. Bloody awful, we're going to do this again. Go around. That was a terrible landing. We're not going to stick with that. I always, by the way, I don't do these flights to show you how it's done, by the way. A lot of this is me learning and practicing as well, in case you hadn't already noticed. Right, let's dangle the Dunlops. checking the temperatures. Looks like the oil temperature's getting a little bit tasty. Need to be careful of that. And with our big warbird nose, we've now lost sight of the runway, which doesn't really help. So just having to correct for a few things. We are definitely using a lot of runway. And that was not the prettiest landing, but that's what warbird flying is all about. It's about learning the ropes. It's about practice. It would be boring if it was easy, wouldn't it, eh? Think about it. What would be the point of learning to fly these old girls if you could just waft them around the sky like it was a you know, a simple tricycle Cessna? Beautiful. And I actually love it when something like that happens. When you do a landing like that, you know, I did a second landing because I wasn't really that enamoured with the first one. You realise that you've got more work to do, and that's what makes it fascinating. It really does. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed the flight. I certainly did. And there will be more Skyraider action on the channel in the future, I can assure you. And we will be flying Navy. So, supporting the Royal Navy, of course. But it's been wonderful having you along, and I look forward to seeing you on the channel again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.